So distance learning, now closer than ever. I've lived in regional communities for most of my life, where connectivity to the outside world depended on the journalist of your local newspaper and now the bandwidth of your network. Actually, during lunch we found out that Dr. Greg Nash grew up not far from my own husband's family farm in Gympie, so it's interesting just how connected we really are. When I enrolled in distance learning, though, to further my education, I relied on posted printed workbooks and bought heavy, expensive textbooks. Everybody nodding? They often sat on the shelf when I finished the course, and I thought there's got to be a better way of doing this. I did have very limited access to industry professionals, and to get any feedback on what my learning was all about often took weeks and sometimes months. I got very frustrated about this. So I determined to do something different in education, and my passion is to teach other educators how to deliver flexibly so that the student experience is much better than what I had. But like Dr. Prue said, planning and passion without action means nothing. So I've spent a few years now playing with technology. In fact, my children say I go to work just to play on the computer, and I think I've got one of the best jobs. But did you know the internet is only as old as a university graduate? And in Australia, actually, the internet is much younger. So where we've assumed that people have grown up for many, many years and got very used to this technology, the internet itself is still growing, it's still learning, it's still evolving. The internet has changed a lot of the ways that we do business, and it's also changed the way we learn. The age of the internet has enabled innovation in teaching where none would have even been conceived. My father-in-law, Fred, said, "You don't realise how old you are until they move your entire school to a museum." His one-room primary school at Sunny Creek in Victoria is now in Gippsland Heritage Park, and we had a look at it not so long ago. At 94, he may be the last surviving pupil of his class, but he's still learning. He uses a Kindle to read, and he also Skypes with his daughter when she travels overseas. The internet evolution has moved students and teachers closer together. Not only has it improved access to education, but it also strengthens teaching via industry networks such as LinkedIn. So now when I talk to my teachers, I say, if you're not on LinkedIn, where are you? Because it does strengthen their vocational networks, it strengthens their teaching networks, it encourages open source sharing opportunities, it also provides positive criticism for feedback. I now tell the teachers not to expect to see all of their students in a typical classroom, and I encourage them to make their class handouts more interactive and engaging. Pages for Learning now hold so much more than text and images. Words become graphics, and graphics can lead to more words. Wordles are pictures made of words. And you'll see one here up the back there, and that's made from the TEDxGympie blog site. And we can change the words so that the larger words become focus of discussions, and we often use those in TAFE now for learning and language support, because you can ask the students, focus on one word in this picture and write me a paragraph about it. Something very simple, something visual. We also use QR codes, and they're quick response codes. It's the square at the bottom left. You'll even see them now in your Bunnings catalogue, where it tells you, here's a paver on sale, scan the QR code and learn how to lay a paver. It's much more engaging, much more interactive. When we use them in the classroom, we could use them to provide links to the internet, a campus map direction, emails, or even your teacher's phone number, so they can link to lots more information. just means that we can cram more information on a page. The growth of the internet and social working sites such as Facebook and Twitter and others have developed an awareness of relational learning. And this is pivotal to the success of any workplace training. So we need to consider this in terms of how workers access knowledge and skills, and webinar classrooms help that. Webinar classrooms are web conference sessions that are used for teaching. And every Monday morning at 7:30 a.m, we have hydrographers from around Australia log into a lesson for their Diploma of Water Operations class. We also teach our Certificate 4 and OHS purely through a web conference classroom. Using webinars also enable you to have global discussions and guest speakers. And recently we ran a series for our water students where we had the water quality manager from California speak, and on another session we had the geospatial lecturer from India speak. Now, industry network people, specialists, are more inclined to give up 10 minutes of their time to talk to your students, especially if they can do it from their own desk, than they are to fly across the world to talk to your students for half an hour or even a day. So it opens up so many more possibilities. Smartphone apps now support the worker and the learner to facilitate ease of learning and make things so much easier. Digital citizens, such as my grandchildren, have an expectation that learning is available almost anywhere, anytime, and at no cost. They'll grow up in a global supported learning community and develop skills we haven't yet dreamed of. Thank you.